You know, sometimes I just don't understand the marketing towards movies, and today I'm going to be talking about Cobweb, a horror movie that was released during Barbenheimer week, one of the most idiotic times to release a small horror film during one of the biggest weeks in cinema. What did I think about Cobweb, and should you be checking it out? Well, stick around and let's talk about it. An 8-year-old boy tries to investigate the mysterious knocking sounds that are coming from inside the walls of his house, unveiling a dark secret that his sinister parents have kept hidden from him. The film stars Lizzy Caplan, Antony Starr, Cleopatra Coleman, and Woody Norman, and was directed by Samuel Bodin, and this is his directorial debut, and the film was also produced by Seth Rogen. Cobweb is a film that I heard about through Twitter. If it wasn't for that Twitter circle, I probably would have never heard of this film. It was released during Barbenheimer week and just left out there to basically die with no advertisement. I never saw a trailer for this film, so I walked into this film pretty blind. I watched this one at home. It is available to check out on VOD to rent, and it will be available to actually purchase on Blu-ray on September the 12th. So with this film, you have a little boy, he is 8 years old, named Peter, and he really has trouble fitting in at school. He's getting bullied, he has no friends, and the only person that really takes a liking towards him is his substitute teacher, played by Cleopatra Coleman. His parents are very overbearing, they won't let him do a whole lot. Although the parents are kind of distant in a way, and they also won't let him go trick-or-treating on Halloween because apparently a girl disappeared from their street. Peter, when he tries to sleep at night, he keeps hearing all these mysterious noises throughout the walls, and he tries to tell his parents, and they go, "Oh, you're just imagining things." And through course of several days, he keeps hearing these noises over and over, and then finally he actually has someone actually talking to him, and apparently it is a girl's voice. She actually reveals that her name is Zahra and she's stuck in the walls, and that's really the main plot of this film. What can I really say that I really liked about this film? Well, I did like the atmosphere. I found that it always was building atmosphere throughout this film. I feel like the shots in this film, they're very creative at points. I think the unique camera angles in this film, they did a really good job of capturing that spooky kind of atmosphere, the setting of the house. It did kind of remind me of a Michael Myers Halloween kind of house, the way that it was really old and kind of just falling apart in a way, and it seemed like it was in an older neighborhood as well. The film also has a dark setting, and what I mean by that is the sun is never out. It definitely has that Halloween spirit vibe with the pumpkins. There's one portion in the film where the bully at his school ends up smashing his pumpkin, and it really does give off that Halloween vibe. And you just see this kid, he is really struggling. And this film, it's mainly told through this little boy's perspective, and I think that's what really drew me into this film. And I think it's a common subject where kids at a young age, they have trouble really fitting in. And this subject matter of the kid trying to fit in, it really did remind me of like Antlers, how that kid, he was kind of separated from his school as well. But in this film, you have Woody Norman, who I have seen him in The Last Meter, and I've also seen him in another film called Come On, Come On, and I think he is absolutely excellent in this role. He plays it up very well, and I think he is that curious boy at 8 years old where you just want to really just give him a hug because he's having so much trouble getting that affection from his parents, and his parents, they're just very strange and very odd, and they really seem like they're up to something in this film, and that's where the spook factor of this film really does shine. Now, there isn't a lot of jump scares in this. There is one that really did get me, and there's a point where there is a dream sequence. Of course, that is done a lot in horror films, but this dream sequence was very effective, and my son was watching this as well, and he definitely was freaked out by some of the scary imagery within this film. It was a very witty yet fresh film. I felt like the score, it was always heightened, and the sound structure of the film, it really does heighten that suspense throughout the film. And the film, it really takes a look at a entity that is manipulating a young boy into doing things, and he's just trying to make that friend. And I think there is a big correlation between this entity trying to be his friend and him wanting to be accepted and be that cool kid, because when he's in school, he doesn't have any friends, and really any other characters to really root for besides himself is the substitute teacher, because the substitute teacher, played by Cleopatra Coleman, she is his biggest fan, and throughout this film she is the one rooting for him, and she is the one on his side and really trying to investigate what is happening with Peter and why he is doing strange things. For instance, when he's in class, he draws this strange picture, which really gets her attention. For negatives for this film, I would say that obviously in a horror film there is some horror tropes, and they do use some horror tropes within this film. And I think for some people too, the reveal of Zahra and that portion where they actually kind of get to that kind of fast and they rush it a little bit, and with the short runtime of this film you feel like you should get a little bit more. But I think that the way that they structured the story, I think there could have been a little bit more to the entity and a little bit more scarier scenes within the film. I feel like we get a little bit here and there, but I definitely think that the film could have been heightened a little bit more. But overall, for a first-time director, I thought this film was done pretty well. I'm not sure what the budget of this film was, but as far as the score for this film, I would give it a 3.5 out of 5, and it's definitely something that I am going to check out again. However, I want to hear from you guys in the comments. What did you guys think about Cobweb? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Did you just think it was kind of meh? Let me know down in the comments. Thank you guys for watching as always, and I will see you guys on my next review.